My name is Jeff Skanes. I'm the Business Development Manager for Triatek Johnson Controls. We will be taking a brief look at the Triatek capabilities, our product offerings for life safety critical environments. Brief history of Triatek. Triatek was founded in 1985 and focused on lighting controls and room pressure and laboratory controls. In 2008, they relocated and different business management took over the company. And it was focused on redesigning a lot of the original product line. In 2010, we introduced touchscreen controllers, followed quickly by the expansion of the Venturi valve line to include low pressure and shut-off valves, and also including the 14-inch diameter valve. 2014, we launched our universal valve module, which was an innovation taking quite a lot of design capabilities, and that gave us autonomy to integrating with building control systems. So we're agnostic to integrating to different building control systems. In 2014, we launched our universal valve module, which enabled us to integrate seamlessly to any building control system. And in 2015, we patented the Halo safety ring, which surrounds the room pressure controllers and fume hood controllers. In 2016, we actually relocated to Norcross, which is about 20 miles northeast of Atlanta, Georgia, and approximately 40,000 square feet. In 2016, Triatek acquired FlowSafe. They manufacture high-performance fume hoods with low flows, very, very safe fume hood. And 2016, we acquired FlowSafe high-performance fume hoods and introduced stainless steel Venturi valves. And 2018, Johnson Controls acquired Triatek, and since then we've had significant investment in our product portfolio and also in our facility in Norcross. As can be seen here on this slide, on the top left-hand side, as you walk into our reception area, you will see a hospital demonstration room. This is actually an isolation room. And on the columns, you can see the pressure controllers with the safety halo ring glowing green, showing that they're in control. Bottom left-hand picture shows our demonstration fume hood lab area. You can see the ceiling tiles are removed, so we can see the Venturi valves working in unison with the fume hood. And the fume hood one on the bottom left-hand side is our FlowSafe high-performance fume hood. Top right-hand side are our Venturi valves in our production area waiting for final assembly. You can see aluminum ones, and also on the top shelf, the brown colored are our coated valves for fume hoods and critical exhaust types of environment. Bottom right-hand side is bottom right-hand side is the characterization room, where each of the Venturi valves are calibrated prior to leaving the factory. So let's take a look at where we actually operate in and where our equipment is provided. It's really any critical environment. Life safety critical environments include all of healthcare. There's approximately 74 different pressurized spaces in hospitals, also higher education, pharmaceuticals and clean room type of applications, also vivariums. Vivariums are animal holding rooms used in research. So very, very broad opportunities within the critical environments. Quick overview of the critical environment products that we offer are Venturi valves, both single and dual, and they also come in triple and quad types of units. Universal valve module, which we can delve into another time. Right-hand side is where we're going to look at the fume hood controller, pressure controllers as well. And bottom left is our fume hood, the high-performance fume hood. And the right-hand side is the lighting control panels. So focusing on the room pressure controller and fume hood controllers, the view on the left-hand side, the multiple mounting styles are available to you, either on surface mount or flush mount. The flush mount is indicated by the one in the middle. The integration on these can be the backnet or N2. We also have a LON as well, LON integration, although pretty rarely seen these days. On the right-hand side is our fume hood controller. As you can see, they all have the same look and feel. Touchscreen display, the actual display view is the same size on each of these units, but giving various different options to end users for how and where they're installed. On the left-hand side, the FMS is the product number, Facility Management System. FMS 1655 is a surface mount room pressure controller. As you can see on that, the display, we show room pressure. We show a tick mark, which is an international type of logo, icon. It shows temperature, humidity, and we can actually display airflows as well through the system, or we can just show that the screen will just have or we can just show the screen has a tick mark to show that it's in control with a green glow around the outside. That can integrate to door switches, and also will need a digital pressure sensor on each room. The FMS 1655 image in the middle is a monitor only. This does not have the FMS 1655 shown in the center of this slide is a monitor only. It does not have any control functionality. It will display the same as what you can see on the one on the left. That can include room pressure and temperature and humidity, etc. On the right-hand side is our central display unit. It can display up to 4 different rooms or 4 different types of fume hood. Currently, it's showing that the 4th zone is actually in alarm, and you can see the halo ring around the outside is now glowing red. So this is our 3rd generation of enhancements for the FMS 1655. The patented safety halo ring was one of the additions. It has enhanced graphics with dual status indicator. The action icons are universally recognized on bottom left-hand side. You can see the tick mark that it's in control, no action is required. The center one, using caution, is a interim alarm that can be predetermined and pre-programmed into the device, and then obviously full alarm will then start glowing red, together with an audible alarm as well as a visual alarm. Again, it's constant look and feel of the controllers and the monitors, and both available in either surface mount or flush mount. Again, protocols which we can communicate through is BACnet, MSTP, or N2, which you may find in some old buildings, and again, LON works. So where are these FMS 1655 room pressure controls used? Majority of hospitals, again, having pressurized spaces, they need to know that those pressurized areas, i.e. like an isolation room, that is typically negative pressure, meaning that there's more air being exhausted than air coming into the room, to make sure that none of the contaminants or pathogens are released into the adjacent rooms or corridors. So you see a lot of these in most hospitals, and obviously research laboratories, wet chem labs, as you would find in many universities. The thing that you'll find that when you offer these to your customers is that the alarm system is not just audible, as I explained, it has the safety halo ring. That can be viewed from 90 degrees to the actual face of the pressure controller. So think about a suite of isolation rooms in a hospital, and you have maybe 10, 15 in a suite looking down a corridor. If one of those goes into alarm for some reason, you would have to, if it was only audible, you would have to go and try and identify where that audible alarm's coming from. With these, you look down and you'll see continuous greens, and if one is flashing red, you instantly know visually that that room is in alarm. The protocol also communicating to BACnet N2 Alarm Works can then communicate that to the building control system, which will give another alarm system, and also for traceability that's required in hospitals to trace the condition of the rooms related to the patient within that room. We can monitor or we can offer full control. Each of the devices is capable of connecting on the BACnet trunk or N2 or LONWorks. This will give the building control system also capability of monitoring those spaces and also give an additional alarm condition at the front end. Also for traceability, most hospitals require to see the condition of each room related to that particular patient. We have monitor only or full control versions. The monitor does not have any control capabilities. It's just linked to a pressure controller with control capabilities or a standalone unit just to monitor the condition of that room. But again, it has BACnet capabilities as well. They come in stainless steel, flush mount. That's ideal in a type of busy hospital where you get a lot of traffic through the corridors, so it doesn't protrude from the wall. Or we have the surface mount as well, which has slightly smaller footprint, and then all of them have the patented safety halo ring. Obviously, the color helps the visual reference of the condition of the room as well. Some of the features that we offer, we do have a PID loop lock on the controller. This enables a door switch to be added. So if you had a clean room application, for example, or a critical room as in isolation room, and when the door is opened, you want to make sure that it's not wedged open for any given period of time, we can connect it to a door switch, and then it will give an interim alarm, which is the yellow halo ring. Once the door is closed, then we'll go back into normal control. If it's a negative room, we can increase the exhaust air, or a clean room application, typically positive room, to keep any contaminant out of a clean room, we would then increase the supply air whilst the door is open. When the door closes, we would go back off of interim alarm, so the yellow halo ring will go green, and then we would go back into normal control of reducing the supply air. It's intuitive touchscreen display interface. Touchscreen display is also password protected at different levels. If you had an alarm, that would be non-password protected, but we then go into password protection for different configurations. One is cleaning. If we have an isolation room that goes through a decontamination, we can offer the nurses to be able to control that by touchscreen display and select the cleaning mode. We can also present and display humidity, temperature, and room air change rates, and also the pressure of the room. Or again, we can display just the condition of the room by the international icon, like a tick mark, as we explained earlier. An important part of the safety in any research lab. The HMS hood monitoring system, 1655 fume hood controller, mounts on the column, on the pillar of each of the fume hoods. It's a controller. It will control the exhaust air of a VAV hood, for example, and it integrates with a sash position sensor and or a velocity sidewall sensor. This gives us an ability to control the fume hood much more accurately, and where the researcher will be standing in front of the fume hood, we do not want them to be compromised by any of the gases or fumes that are coming out of the fume hood itself. As can be shown here on this diagram, the fume hood controller is mounted on the column. The sash position sensor is a recoil potentiometer that gives us a voltage to the fume hood controller, and then we have a sidewall sensor. All three of those are connected together. When we connect the sidewall sensor and the sash position sensor into the fume hood controller, it pre-senses that they are connected. The touchscreen display on the fume hood monitor will be able to be configured to suit that particular fume hood. So when we go through the configuration, it has a wizard that runs you through the procedures to set that particular fume hood up. Once that's done and the air is flowing through the device, the control will show, if required, and it's selectable, the face velocity, as shown here, 60 FPM, feet per minute. It also shows the condition of the valve on that particular fume hood and showing the airflow. We can also show the time and position of the sash as well. It has a purge, which means that if the sash is open, as it is in this diagram, and the researcher spills some chemicals, they can hit the purge button and it will exhaust a lot more air to make sure that the air within that sash, that fume hood, is extracting those chemicals and not going into the researcher's face or into the lab area. We have a demonstration case that shows the fume hood monitor on the left-hand side. Bottom left, you'll see a little perspex glass that is a slide for a sash position. So as the sash opens and closes, there is actually a fan inside. It's a dynamic working demonstration case. The face velocity changes as we open and close the sash slightly until it goes into control. If we block that sash up, it shows the thing goes into alarm. The center is the pressure monitor that can simulate the door open switch, as I explained earlier. And on the right-hand side is our central display unit, showing the different configuration for monitoring up to 4 spaces. So it's a very, very comprehensive demonstration case and gets a lot of interest when you use this in front of the customers or engineers alike. So for more product information, please visit triatek.com, or you can email your local Cochrane Supply sales rep at the email address here. Alternatively, as well as, you can call me, Jeff Skanes, and my email is here. I'd like to thank you very much for your interest today and your time, and happy selling. Thank you, everybody.